We are back, and we left when we were talking about Storge.
Yes.
Yeah, you wanted to talk about Storge.
Yes.
What is Storge?
That question, I like it. I used to love someone who would ask me, what is this?
Yeah, because that language, probably it is not English. I think so.
Yeah, so thank you very much for this opportunity once again. I want to really talk about this wonderful love that everybody has really gotten acquainted to, and we have a thought that we have understood. It is good to learn because, of course, what you have, it is what you're supposed to give. So if you don't have anything, you will not teach anyone anything. So I want to talk about Storge.
Storge.
That is the kind of love of family. This kind of love is really, really good and slightly related to Philiao, because we have understood that okay, I have not talked about Philiao yet, but Storge is in this wonderful moment described as parent to children love.
So it's you mean the word Storge probably means love, family.
Yes.
Love.
It means family love and mostly parents and parents to children love, and to relatives, and much more about that. That's the kind of love that I'm going to talk about right now.
Okay.
So thank you very much. It is so interesting that everybody has family, and a family being the smallest unit of a society, and of course most of the families that we are in love each other, and they really tend to think sometimes that they love each other. I want to tell us about this. Mostly in this relationship, in this kind of love, we see that people tend to know that I must love my family. And most of the people think, just because this one is my family, they are my friend. There is friendship.
But it's true. I must love my family, and to me, my parents, my relatives, they must love me too, because I'm their child.
Okay, yes. Why do you love your family?
Because they are my parents. They are the people that I'm related to.
So you see, that's what most of the people, almost everybody, thinks, that just because they are related to their family, they, this is my mother, this is my father, they have to love them. Which means that some people have taken it for granted. We have taken this kind of love for granted, that we know our mother and father loves us, so there's nothing more that we are going to say, and you just have to leave it up to that.
So, but, in which way have people taken it for granted?
In this way that I'm going to explain right now. People think that just because this one is my father, he loves me, and I love them. Let me tell you something. When sometimes you feel like this, okay, what would I call it? When you get conflicts in your families, you will feel like, no, I'm not supposed to hate my father because he is my father, so which means I am supposed to love him.
The whites have a saying that blood is thicker than water.
Yes, blood, by the way. Yes, indeed.
So
that's true.
when people get conflict, probably especially family members, we think they'll get back. They'll get it back because they have a bond. There is something that bonds them.
Yes, that's right.
And I think that's something that bonds them is the love.
That's right. Why? I'm here to explain that love in a way that people should understand it and not underestimate it. We have taken it for granted, and we are supposed to really get a feel of it, understand it, and really give it to people we are supposed to. Though it is not the right, like the right way, the greatest love. It is mostly we have loved those who help us. Who do who do you think helps you? Sometimes your family member is not the one who helps you, which hurts. When I come, yes, Miss Ntege, and I ask you, who do you really lean onto? Who do you lean onto? I mean, I give you options: your family and your friends.
Yeah, most of the
Mostly.
times, most of the times, when we leave our families, we tend to lean on our friends more, especially in the urban centers
Now,
where we live.
that's what I want. Even if it is not urban centers, even if it is not anywhere you are really staying in your home place, in your locality,
Yeah,
you will not really rely on your family. You will not lean what you have. Someone who knows the real you is not your family member.
yeah,
Why?
I can trust my
Yes,
friends more than my
they
family.
are your friends. Why?
Because sometimes there are things that I can share with my friends, but not all of them still.
Because you have taken it for granted. You have taken the family for granted, and you think somehow, somewhere, the family is going to hurt you. The family is going to talk about you. The family is going to punish you. The family is going to do whatever. That's why you sometimes go to what?
Friends,
But
when I share something with my family, probably they'll discourage me, they'll pull me back. But if I have this friend that will always push me, yes, Regan, you can do this, because that's how they see me.
do you have such a friend?
Yes, I do. And
Is he or is she? Yes.
so it pushed me. But we have when they are family, they have seen you grow, and they tend to think that they know all your weaknesses. They know what you can do and
Yes,
what you can't
what
do.
you can't
And when you tell them you want to do something like this, they are like discouraging you because they think you can't manage it. But when you have that friend that believes in you, that trusts in you, that friend will push you, even when he knows that when he or she knows that you cannot do it, like you're not good at that, but they will push you to make sure that you do it and you believe in yourself. You understand? So that is why we tend to put our families aside in certain things. But it doesn't mean that we don't love them, but we just tend to put them aside.
Yes, in that form of love, we see that it has a trait of having obligations. You think just because someone is your family member, they have to help you. You think someone, because they are your family member, they have to really be with you all the time. It is not like that. So, which means when they are away, you are not going to what? To love them.
Yeah.
You're just not going to do what? Which makes it also come to a point that it is not true love. It is not the love that we have seen families that have neglected their fellows. So, but all in all, without wasting much of our time concluding in this, family, the love of family is fundamental to the peace and stability of any society. Only that when a family breaks, the whole society breaks.
Yes, you're right.
That's what I have to talk about it. But let's learn to love our own families and continue to love, to know about this kind of love, because don't completely think that someone being your family member, they have to love you. Make friends as you ought to, and love God and know God. It is described in most of the Bible scriptures. For example, where Paul was talking to the Galatians in 6:10, telling them that if you believe, you join the family of Jesus Christ and you become brothers and sisters. And in the Hebrews 2:11, it says that all who are made holy by Jesus are his brothers and members of his family. Indeed, it continues to explain much more about it, that in First Peter also, that I think he refers to believers as a family. So it is so wonderful that we understand that kind of love and know its sense of greatness also. As we continue to explain, now, I think the next is going to be Phileo, then the next gets to be the last one as agape.
Yeah,
I can't
this
wait.
is Love for You on Reflex Media Creators. And before we go further, or before we go for a break, yes, I must accept that yes, our families, most of them have disappointed us, and we have lost that love, serious love for them. So we just keep them there. But in actual sense, after you talking about it, I've realized that we need to love our families in all ways and not to rely on them in all ways, because we get disappointed when they don't do certain things for us, but it doesn't mean that they don't love us. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's have a short break, and when we come back we are going to continue with another type of love. This is Love for You on Reflex Media Creators. Thank you so much, our viewers, for staying on Reflex Media Creators, and welcome back from the break. Thank you so much, Mr. Katugambe.
Yes.
Thank you so much for the good words that you've given to us. You know, many of us didn't know about that family love. You know, it's hard. People don't have they don't differentiate these
Yeah.
types of love. They just find love. You know, since the English is too limited, that they have one word for love, which brings everything together.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know if our languages have the local languages here in Uganda have different ways they can say, make sure that they say that love thing, explain it. But yeah, you're welcome, viewers. Stay with us, and we are going to continue. And right now, we are going to talk about, I think, the friendly love,
Yes, the Phileo.
the Phileo. It's called Phileo.
Yeah, it is the Phileo. I love it. One of
Okay.
the reasons why I like it, it is, because it's just because of that experience that we are creatures. We are creatures by nature who should love. Love friends, love everybody. That's why when you meet someone, it is easy for you to love them and associate with them.
But what is, someone might be there now, right now they are thinking, they are asking themselves, what is this friendly love? What is this Phileo kind of love? What is it?
Yeah, Phileo. It is a Greek word, which it is derived from a word called philos, which is Greek, which means a friend. So Phileo, it refers to the love that one has for a friend or acquaintance. When you're acquainted to a friend, or like you really love someone, or you know because you have same and common characters, common, like
Interests.
you are compatible in common interests.
Yeah.
You are in that friendship, in that kind of love. Yes, you see you stay in the same place, you study the same thing, you will have become friends automatically. Sometimes when you come on the table and interact. So Phileo, it is so great that mostly we misquote it and misunderstand it as true love, because sometimes we think friendship, like having that friend, that's the one maybe you will marry, or that's the one you will do anything with, but you don't know that there's something bigger than that. There's something greater than that. That love, Peter, first of all, in the Bible, Peter had it for Jesus Christ. He loved Jesus, that Jesus loved him with the God love, and Peter phileoed him. That's what I would call it. He asked him in some of the scriptures and said, "Do you love me?" Jesus asking Peter. And Peter said, "Yes, I do love you." But those two sentences were different. How? In a way that Jesus was saying, "Do you agape me?" Then Peter was saying, "Yes, I phileo you." Jesus was replying him, "Feed my sheep." He asked 3 times, "Do you agape me?" Peter said, "I phileo you, yes." Peter was asking himself, why is he asking me several times? Because Jesus would feel the way this man, because Peter would die for Jesus Christ.
Because of this friendly love.
Because of this friendly love,
he had for
not
Jesus.
a godly love.
Okay.
You understand? He would even die. That's why he even cut one of the what do I call them?
The soldiers.
Soldiers, the Jude, it's those people who had come to pick Jesus Christ. He cut his ear because he would fight.
He could do anything for his friend.
Anything for his friend.
Okay.
This phileo, it is in a way described as mpankuwe. Give me and I give you. Scratch my back and I'll scratch yours.
Back.
You understand?
Okay.
So it is that two-way, like, which means
exchange.
Yes, exchanging. Which means that if you don't scratch my back, I will not scratch you back.
Okay.
You understand? So it was described, it was put in that state that, yes, this is my friend. Okay, when that friend is not there for you, that means you will not really love him. And it's because they have not done, and we have lost several friends in that way, that we are thinking that we love them, but they are not doing to our expectations. Phileo has a trait, a characteristic that you will have to do something for me,
and I will do something for you.
You get? You will be this, and I will be this to you. You get?
You know, the Waganda, in the Waganda community, they have something that you know, when you're there and you're on the same community, and for you pretend as if you don't want to bury others. Toyagala kuzikirako bantu balala, and nabo bakuleka. So you just contribute, you keep on contributing over money, over food. You just contribute and you don't go for the burial.
Yes.
So what, you know what they do? They wait for you to lose your loved one, and they also bring stuff and leave you alone.
Yeah, I think I heard of that scenario, but that was really bad. So that's what makes Phileo a little good, but also bad. It makes it good and bad at the same time, which makes it not inevitable. Which means inevitable for anyone to marry someone because they are their friends, or it is not good to think that you need to evaluate yourself completely, not to marry someone because of phileo, of that love you think you're having for someone, and you're trying to say, oh my God, I love this person because I want sex, because this person gives me food, because this person cooks nicely. You get?
Actually, you're talking about it right now. I realize it that most of the friends, most of the young people tend to think that that love you're explaining, the friendly love, is romantic one, and they just twist them.
They have twisted all of them, this love to this love to this love to that love. So which has made it really like people have misquoted the word love and not understood it. Now, but on the other side, besides, it is okay, that true friendship, it is a spice to life. As us, as us being in this nature of loving, we are supposed, we are obliged to have friends automatically. Automatically, it is your responsibility to have friends, and if you don't have friends, life becomes not easy. So one day my grandfather told me, I don't know whether he was talking on that state, that side of phileo, but he told me, never go a day without a new friend. And I understood it, and it has helped me. Yes, it has helped me because it is a spice to life. It is a spice, which means there is something, there is a bread, there is something bigger than phileo. which means there is something bigger than Philo, and we shall be talking about it in a few minutes to come. It is the so-called agape. Now, Philo is it is conditional. It is on conditions. Richard, I'm coming here. I'm coming here to do something for you, which means you have to do something for me.
So you do something for a friend, expecting something sometime. You know?
It is, yes, with expectations. You create expectations. So which means when someone doesn't fulfill the expectations that you have in you, you will do what?
You will lose the friend.
Yes, you will lose the friend. And we have lost a lot of friends with that kind of love, Phileo.
But yeah.
Well, I remember something when Jesus Christ was arrested. To show you that was Phileo, it is timely, it is terrible. Jesus reached somewhere when they were beating him, and some people saw Peter in the crowd and asked, but you also part of him. You also part of him. And do you know what Peter said? No, he's not part of
that man.
I don't know that man.
Yeah.
What kind of love do you think that was? Phileo. That's the friendship. I don't know that man, because you cannot die for them. You cannot sacrifice anything for them. It is also selfish.
So that love has limitations.
Yes, it is also selfish. He denied his best friend. Okay, his possible best friend. He thought he was his best friend, and he denied him. Look at that. Look at that scenario. So would you like to have a filial friendship?
He denied someone he loved.
So he thought he loved him.
He loved him.
That's why Jesus sent him to feed his sheep and said, there is another word, I think I'll be explaining it when it comes by the Holy Spirit. But what I say, do not ever rely on that friendship. That kind of love, thinking that someone might come and say, I love you. But the perspective of the way they have explained it, you can love football, you can love netball, you can love cheese, you can have bread, you can love walking around. All those have degrees of their loves. You understand? Like, you will not love that one. So that love, Philo, it is really not good for people to think they have and live on for a marriage or for anything greater. It is not long term. Because those friends you had in the past are not the ones that you have right now. So which means you feel them.
But for me, I think it comes when people in life, people have not loved themselves. There are so many people who don't love themselves, and they expect to love others. To have friends. How could they have friends? How could you have a friend? How could you love someone when you yourself you don't love yourself?
Yes, right now that is also another kind of love under Phileo. It is self-love. If indeed you don't love yourself, you are talking about nothing. The Bible firstly says it is the greatest commandment. Love your God with all your heart and with all your mind. And the next is love yourself. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. You get my point?
Yes.
Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Which means if you don't love yourself, you don't have the ability. You don't have the ability to love your neighbor.
Yeah, in the last episode we talked about it, but shortly, it still disturbs me. There are some few people who try to love themselves, and people think that they are selfish by loving themselves. And I don't really understand how can someone do love him or herself without people seeing it in a way that they are being selfish.
It is too bad that we are in a state where most of the people are selfish here. They are selfish that they don't even know that they are selfish. You understand?
Yeah.
We are here to talk about this, but someone there will be watching and They're like, oh my God, I am loving this person because I need something from him. That is the first selfishness. The Bible says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Which means you firstly have to love yourself and then you love your neighbor. There's someone who was telling me about not thinking that you love yourself and what. There's no way you're going to hate yourself and think you're going to love me. That's the beginning of your downfall. If you hate yourself, if you don't love yourself, you will not be confident, you will not be you will not do anything on your own. You will be like right there, not,
Thank you so much, Mr. Katugambe. This is Love for You on Reflex Media Creators. There are a lot of things that we can talk about, love, friendly love, and self-love. We cannot exhaust them right now, but I know we'll get another time and we try to exhaust these things so that we break them down and people try to understand better this concept of love, of friendly love, of self-love, But before we go further, we are going to talk about, agape love next.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Katugambe. This is Love for You, and this is Reflex Media Creators. Don't forget to like our page, Reflex Media Creators, on Facebook, and subscribe on our YouTube channel, Reflex Media Creators.